So we look at the Fed, we think that they will hike one more time this year. That would put them on track for 3 this year. We'd be very surprised, in fact, knocked out in terms of shock if they hike twice. We just don't see the economy strengthening enough because, again, we haven't gotten the pro-growth policies that we had hoped for. There is a small probability they don't hike again. Again, if inflation continues to trend weaker, if the jobs market starts to roll over. However, given all the data we're seeing, labor market, inflation data, the recent JOLTS number, they all signal a hike in December, which is interesting because markets are only pricing in a 50% probability. We think that's way too low. And then as we look forward into next year, we think at least 1 to 3 hikes. A lot more uncertainty as you go out into the future. It's unclear if the growth in emerging market stays. If services start to slow down, that could have the Fed hold back a little bit. But in general, we think it's going to be steady as she goes, very transparent hikes. Now, equally important is the unwinding of their bond portfolio. As most of viewers know, or anyone caring to watch this is aware, that the Fed had embarked on a massive quantitative easing program, accumulated over $4 trillion in Treasury and mortgage-backed securities, and they're gradually going to start to unwind that. And in our opinion, over time, it should take a little bit of steam out of the economy, what little steam there is, but the pace is going to be glacial. So we don't see it as being terribly disruptive because of the slow pace. And just as important, they've been very clear in their communication policy. So the Fed gets a lot of criticism. We think most of it's unjustified. We haven't seen any maneuver since the crisis that we vehemently disagree with. I think QE3 had the least efficacy of any of the quantitative easing programs. I think reasonable people can disagree on that. But all the steps they're taking now to withdraw extraordinary stimulus are appropriate given where the labor market is and where inflation data is.
All investments are subject to risk, including the possible loss of the money you invest. For more information about SkyBridge Capital Multi-Advisor Hedge Fund Portfolio Series G, call 1-888-759-2730 to obtain a prospectus. Investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and other important information about a fund are contained in the prospectus. Read and consider it carefully before investing. This webcast is for educational purposes only. We recommend that you consult a professional advisor about your individual situation.